Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 3-6 found on pages 126 to 128, adding and subtracting unlike fractions. Here we will learn how to add unlike fractions. When we talk about unlike fractions, remember we're talking about the denominator. The denominator is not the same, and we're also going to subtract unlike fractions. So really the first thing we need to learn is to find the common denominator. Let's do that. So at the bottom of page 126 we have these four questions, 1a to 1d. Let's go ahead and start with 1a. So I have unlike denominators, as you can see here, 6 and 4. I have to find a common denominator. In order to find a common denominator, I have to find the least common multiple. If I count by 6's and if I count by 4, which number will they have that is common, that is the least? Now, if I count by 6's, I will get to 24, and I know if I count by 4's, I'll get to 24 as well. If I count by 6's, I'll also get to 12, and that's the least one, 6, 12, and then I have 4, 8, 12. So really, the least common multiple for the 2 is the 12. What did I do to the 6 to make it 12? I multiplied it by 2, so I must do the same to the 1, and 1 times 2 is 2. What did I do to the 4 to make it 12? I multiplied it by 3, so I must do the same to this 3, and when I do so, I get 9. So now, when I add it, I get 11 over 12. Remember that they want us to write it in simplest form, but this cannot be reduced any further because 11 is a prime number. Okay, let's try 1b. Our denominators are 7 and 14. These are both multiples of 7. So the least common multiple is going to be 14. I didn't have to change this one, and this one I just had to double it. So if I double this, I double this, and I get 4. Okay, and because I didn't change the 14, I don't change the 3, and I get 7 over 14, which is, when it's simplified in simplest form, it's a half. Okay, if you haven't tried 1c and 1d on your own, please pause the video now, try it on your own. Okay, you can see over here these are both common multiples. These are multiples of 5, and over here we have multiples of 8. Go ahead and try it on your own, and then check your work with my video. Okay, here's c. We know that the least common multiple between these two will be 10. Okay, because you can count by 5's. When you count by 5's, you get 10, and when you count by 10's, the first number is 10. So 10. What did I do to the 5? I doubled it, so I must do the same to the 2. I get a 4. And I didn't change this one, this 10, so I don't change this 3. So I go ahead and just add it, and I get 7/10. Okay, and that's simplified already. And now let's try D. As I mentioned, 8 and 24 are both multiples of 8. Okay, so in order to, if I count by 8, by the third time I'll get to 24. So that is the least common multiple, 24. I didn't do anything to the 24, so I don't do anything to the 5, right? And I tripled the 8, so I must triple the 3 to 9. And I get 14 over 24, right? These are both multiples of 2. So I can simplify it by dividing both by 2, and I get 7 over 12. And there you have it. Okay, now we're on page 127, 2a, 2b, and 2c, where we're going to now work with a combination of mixed numbers and fractions. All of these are rational numbers, of course. We're also implementing the negative, and we're adding negatives as well. So please try these on your own right now by pausing the video, and then we will, you can check it with the video. If you have any issues, make sure you look at example 2 of your textbook. Okay, so let's try 2a. Now 2a, I have a whole number, and I don't have any whole numbers here. I can separate the whole numbers and work with that separately. So I'm going to put that aside, plus, and I'll work with the fractions in parentheses. Now I'm looking for my least common multiple, or least common denominator, and it looks like it's 28, because if I double this, I get 28, and if I multiply this times 7, I get 28. So then I can go right ahead with my 3. I have 28. Because I multiply this by 7, I must do the same to the top, and I get 21. And I multiply this one by 2, so I must do the same to the 5, and multiply that, and I get 10. Well, that looks like a 6, 10. Okay, and now I get 3 and 31 over 28, right? Now, because I have my 3 there. Now I have more than a whole here. I have more than 128. So that's going to give me an entire whole right here, right? So really I have 4 wholes. And what do I have left over? 3 over 28. So 4 and 3 28s. Okay, for the second one we have negative 6, negative 6, 8, 9. Now remember, this whole number is negative. So because we're working with a whole negative expression, I would recommend that you change it all or convert this mixed number and this mixed number to an improper fraction. So let's do that. Remember, multiply and add, multiply these two, and then add the top one. Okay, and so let's see, we have 9 plus 12, those don't change. 9 times 6 is 54, plus 8 is 62. Okay, and that's our negative. And 12 times 7 is 84, plus 5 is 89. And there we have it. Okay, now for the common denominator is 36. 9 times 4 is 36. And 62 times 4 is 248. Plus 89 times 3 will be 267. Right, so now I'm adding this amount to this negative, and when I do that, I get an answer of 19, a difference of 19, positive 19 over 36. And there you have it, boys and girls. Okay, please try C on your own. Remember to convert it to an improper fraction because we're working with positive and negatives, and it looks like this is a bigger amount than this amount, so we're going to end up with a negative. But let's try it. Okay, when I convert it, this is what I get. I'm going to make it smaller. Right there, remember that you multiply and then you add, multiply and add. Okay, now I have my least common multiple, least common denominator between these two will be 30. So now I have 30. I multiply this by 6, so I must multiply the 18 by 6. I get 108, plus, now I have to multiply this by 5 because I multiplied the 6 times 5. And I get negative 145. Okay, now I can just go ahead and work right through 108 plus negative 145. Okay. It's going to be 37 over 30. So this is 37 over 30. And now you can simplify this. How many 37, 37? 1. You have 7 left over 30. Oh, and it's negative. It's a negative. Don't forget this is a negative. And at the bottom of page 127, we're going to look for the difference of these three. Go ahead, pause the video, try it, and then check your answer. This is the only way you'll learn, by forcing yourself to try it. Okay, the first thing I want to do is find the least common denominator, and I think it's 36. I don't think anything's closer. No, this would not multiply into 18. No, not 27, it's 28, not 32. So yeah, 36. So I have 36, 3 times 9. 27 minus 8 times 4 is 32. Clearly we're going to have a negative number, so we have a negative of 5, okay, over 36. There you go. Convert these two into an improper fraction first. Okay, this is what you should have. Now we subtract, now we look for a common denominator. This will give me, they both will give me 24, right? 24. Multiply this times the 6 times 4 and the 8 times 3, so you do the same to the top. Okay, and when you subtract these two, 172 minus 159 will give you 13 over 24. And that's your answer. Okay, go ahead and do 3C on your own. Let's check it in class. Remember to write the word ask right next to it as a key answer, and remind me in class to check this. When I check your homework, I will be looking to see that you have this one done and that you have the word ask written next to it. And now for example 5, example 4, we have a word problem. We have a frog jumping contest. This is a real thing. A recent frog jumping contest. At a recent frog jumping contest, the winning frog jumped 21 1/3 feet. The second place frog jumped 20 1/2 feet. How much farther did the first place frog jump? Well, you can see that they jumped an extra half to get to 21 1/3, so a half and 1/3. You can add those two together, or you can just subtract the 2 to see. So you write the 21 1/3 minus 20.5. Convert them into an improper fraction first. 3 times 21 is 63 plus 1, 64 over 3. And 2 times 20 is 40 plus 1 is 41 over 2. What is the common multiple for these two? It's 6, right? So you have to multiply this number by 2 to get 6. Sorry, I forgot to write the 6. So you must do the same to the 64. It's 64. It's 128. Multiply times 2 is 128. And we multiply this times 3, so we must multiply 41 times 3. 41 times 3 is 123. Minus 123, right? Equals 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 5 over 6. So, your therefore statement. Therefore, the winning frog jumped 5/6 farther. 5/6 feet. Please include the word feet in there. Better yet, of a foot. 5/6 of a foot. So therefore, the winning frog jumped 5/6 of a foot farther. As always, leave the guided practice for class so we can warm up doing this together. But please complete the independent practice. Here's the page in case you don't have it at home. You can pause the video now and do all this on your own, as well as the second part of the page that you have here. So you can pause the video and work on this as you see it. Okay, everyone, I'll see you in class.